What's up everybody, welcome back. Today, finally doing the review video on my Savage 110 Apex Hunter. Okay, before I start this review, I gotta ask, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I'm growing the channel and I really appreciate it. Anyways, I chose to get my Savage 110 in 7mm Remington Magnum. However, Savage offers this rifle in a bunch of different chamberings. You can get it in 204 Ruger, 22-250 Remington, 223 Remington, 243 Winchester, 25-06 Remington, 260 Remington, 270 Winchester, 270 Winchester Short Magnum, 30-06 Springfield, 300 Winchester Magnum, 308 Winchester, 338 Winchester Magnum, 350 Legend, 450 Bushmaster, 6.5 Creedmoor, 6.5 SPC, 6.5 by 284 Norma, 7mm PRC, 7mm 08 Remington, and 7mm Remington Magnum. So, like I said, lots of different chamberings. Mine's chambered in 7mm Remington Magnum, and I like it. Okay, now there's some things that I don't like about it, and some things that I do. If you're considering between this and a Savage Axis, definitely go with this. It is way better than the Savage Axis, but it still has some flaws and drawbacks. We'll go over those here in just a second. Okay, go ahead and show you. The rifle is in fact clear, nothing in the magazine and nothing in the chamber. All right. Now, one of the features that I do like about this in comparison to the Axis, the bolt. The bolt is way nicer and much smoother. Okay, has a floating head design. It's pretty sweet. Moving on from that, capacity. Okay, has a 3-round detachable box magazine. Not a fan of this. Okay, now this is a polymer tab. I feel like if anything is going to break, that's going to be what's going to be the first thing to break, right? Aside from that, Savage does make a newer version that has a metal tab, and I've also seen that sometimes when you order them, they will come with the metal tab. Mine didn't, okay? Standard length of pull is just under 14 inches at 13 3/4 of an inch. And I've also heard that you can adjust or get adjustment shims. Mine didn't come with any. Mine was bought new, but it was a blem or a damaged box. So yeah, take that for what it's worth. Also, normally they come with a Picatinny rail and a Vortex 3x9. I went ahead and took the rail off, switched it for a 20 MOA rail, and put this Viper PST Gen 2 on it. It's a 5-25 by 50 because I wanted to use this to shoot a little bit longer range. Anyways, without the scope on it, without the bipod, just as it comes, it is just slightly over 8 pounds and makes an excellent hunting rifle. Okay, mine came with a 24-inch buttoned rifle carbon steel barrel, and it's non-threaded. Don't really mind that it's non-threaded. It's okay. You know, I don't know. It is what it is. Anyways, at just under 45 inches complete, it's not difficult to find a bag for it, I guess, even with the scope on it, is what it is. All right. Now, here's the things that I think are far ahead. The AccuTrigger that comes in the Savage 110 is much better than the AccuTrigger that comes with the Savage Axis. However, I've kind of had a love-hate relationship with this AccuTrigger, okay? Now, when I got it, it was super light. I mean, on the lightest side of light at 1.5 pounds. And it had issues, which it still does, right? Okay? I'm going to go ahead and get a close-up so you can see it. Okay? That silver blade there is actually a safety, right? Now, if you do not pull the safety directly back, it will lock out. But, and I guess I'm not really explaining that well. Okay, so there we go. Be very gentle with it. Okay, there you go. See the safety? And there you go. For whatever reason, mine went back to the extremely light side even after I had adjusted it to where I wanted with my Wheeler digital scale and confirmed it with my Wheeler manual scale. Now, if you're rough with it and you slam it down hard, it will actually lock itself by itself, if that makes sense, as well as could potentially have an accidental discharge if it's too light. So obviously you could tell I'm kind of racking it back and forth, but the blade is locked, okay? So when you're shooting, sometimes you have to just be very gentle in order to get it unlocked. Well, obviously I have to adjust mine again. I'm not a big fan of that. The next thing, the stock. In terms of the stock on this Apex Hunter, it is a lot better than an Axis, but it still has major flex. And that major flex, if you load your bipod a little heavy, or if you throw it up against a barrier, it actually can throw off the harmonics of the barrel by interfering with the barrel. So it is free floated. You could put a dollar bill in there, but as soon as you apply a little force on the bipod, it's no longer free floated and it is definitely touching. If I were considering building something for a long range rifle, starting with the 110 is a great idea, especially if you get a good deal on it. You know, any reputable barrel manufacturer makes barrels for these, pre-fit barrels. Very easy to install, very, very easy to install. And so there's that. Also, most major manufacturers, you know, good manufacturers, make chassis or stocks for these. So you can replace the chassis or the stock with something like a Boyd's hardwood stock or an MDT or, you know, just about anything. But yeah, that's my main gripes, the trigger and the stock. So if I was going to have to spend money to buy a chassis and buy an upgraded trigger, well, in my opinion, I may have been better off starting with something different. Now, if this is what your budget can afford and you buy this and then you're like, well, later on I'll just buy a chassis and later on I'll buy a trigger, it's a perfect rifle to slowly upgrade. And as far as shooting goes, like I said, if you're not aggressively preloading the bipod or if you're not really pushing into a barrier or a rest, it shoots great. So I'll go ahead and roll in some footage of me shooting this thing, and yeah, we'll come back and talk about it.
Hit. Let me go down.
Fucking trigger. Alright, so one complaint I have with this rifle is this safety on the trigger. I'm not a fan of it. Alright, let's see where we're at. I'm gonna go for the head, Johnny.
Okay. Yep, hit. Hit.
Alright, so I figured out where we're at. So I'm gonna go for the little plate.
Okay. Let me get up out of the way.
Alright, ready?
Yep. Oh, hit. Look, you caught it on the edge though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and send another one at that plate.
Yeah.
All right, so there you have it. My opinions, it's a great rifle. I'm going to readjust the AccuTrigger again, see if it's possible that I messed something up. But all in all, it's a great rifle. Like I said, if you're looking for something to get you started or a great hunting rifle, this definitely fits the bill. I personally am changing the stock and putting it into a chassis, and later on, when I eventually need it, I will get a new barrel. So I'm not a fan of the pencil profile barrel, but keep in mind it is designed for hunting. It's the Apex Hunter. So that being said, that lightweight, thin profiled barrel, it's not like you're going to be shooting 10 rounds in a row, right? But just keep in mind when you're doing your groupings that after about the third shot, it is going to heat up and your group is going to start opening up. So hopefully you found this useful and enjoyed it. And, I'll I want to earn your subscription. So hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.